Hello and welcome to another Retro RHLSTP. This week with Pierre Novellie. We're back to 2022, the autumn of 2022, to look at this one. Lots of fun, quite a low audience, that's what I remember about this one. But lockdown hit us hard, guys. What can I say? We're still recovering. But we're still here, and that's the important thing. If you enjoyed these podcasts, this is free on YouTube, but of course repeated as an audio as well. Please tell your friends about them. Advise them to have a look. If you want to pay us back a little bit for our generosity, you can come and see us live, richherring.com/RHLSTP, or you could become a monthly badger at gofasterstripe.com/badges and get loads of privileges. If you pay £8 a month, you get other extra podcasts. But even if you don't, you get badges, you get advance warning of who the guests are. And we've got some great guests coming up, including Richard Ayoade on the 3rd of November at the Leicester Square Theatre. So do come along and see us. Support us if you can, but if you can just spread the word, that's great. Sit back, relax, and enjoy another Retro RHLSTP. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Leicester Square Theatre. Please welcome a man who's considering buying an island. It's Richard Herring! Thank you very much. Oh, you must be much better than last week's audience. They nearly stopped clapping by the time I got. They were cunts. They were cunts. That's next week's audience. No, it's all right. This isn't the first show. The next week's the first. The one with Rhys Shearsmith was on first. You must remember the order of things. Were you not here 2 weeks ago? Welcome. Come on in. Welcome to Richard Herring's Leicester Square Theatre podcast. I was talking to Rednecks the other day. Remember the band Rednecks? Remember them? Remember Cotton Eye Joe? Pig in a poke? Uncle John up the tree? They call it RHLSTP, I don't know, but in a Scandinavian accent. Yeah, I was on holiday in the Isle of Arran, which is where I used to go when I was a kid with my family. So it was like 50 years before I had been to the Isle of Arran and went again. Hasn't changed. I think it genuinely has. My mum said there's some swings by at one point that were there 50 years ago and were there 25 years ago when she was last here. So it's a beautiful place. Do go. But opposite where we were staying, there was an island with a lighthouse on it, and my son really wanted to go and visit it. And then I just was looking up local house prices just to see how much it would cost to live on the Isle of Arran. And that whole island was for sale, right? It's a 28-acre island with a lighthouse on it and a 6-bedroom apartment that needs a little work. It only costs £350,000. And I thought I could own an island. I could, sell my house and go and buy an island and live just off the Isle of Arran. It'd be quite inconvenient because I don't have a boat. Or a helicopter. But I thought I could crowdfund that if I'd put a Kickstarter together. I reckon I could do it. But I think if I did it, it should just be on the understanding that I have to live on the island for a year and I'm not allowed to come off. But I'm not going to. Good though, wouldn't it? Imagine owning an island. Wouldn't it become my wife saying, you know what, I just want to own an island. It's not even a little island. You could own 350,000. My flat in Balham, the first flat I bought for something like £92,000. The last time I looked it up on Rightmove or whatever it's called, it was worth £600,000. It's a shit flat in Balham. You could be living on an island, the Isle of Arran. King of all you survey. Plus there were like loads of stones on there, so I could literally clear the whole thing. It's actually smaller than the field, about the same size. Anyway, that's that. What other amusing things have happened to you, Richard, since the last series? My son is definitely. My son is just exactly me as a child, except slightly more confident. So this is slightly worrying. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be a comedian. And we had a family lunch the other day with my family hasn't all been in the same room. My brother, sister, my mum and dad, and various wives and husbands and a couple of the kids were all together for this lunch. And so it'd been the first time, maybe 5-6 years, we'd all been together, and everyone was giving little speeches. And I think, I don't want to give a speech, I don't care. But everyone said, my parents were saying how proud they were of us all, even me. They're proud of this. And my brother said something, my sister said something. Then my son got up on a chair, and he's 4 years old. And he was slightly cribbing off other people, but not really. He just very confidently went, Uncle Duncan is not here. That's my wife's brother, who wouldn't be there for any reason. But all the Herring family are here, and we make a big teamwork together. And so everyone applauded him, and that was a mistake. And I didn't get all of it down. We didn't film the whole thing. But then he said, he saw this big inflatable champagne bottle. He said, drink while you're still alive. Given my parents were in their mid-80s, and it was good advice. And then everyone's going, yeah, hooray. And then he went, we should not poo on the floor. Which is good advice. So some of it was very profound. The other thing he said, we should wear hats. So he was sort of slightly like a young Jesus, I thought. Sort of proclaiming, but it was absolutely terrifying. But yeah, there we go. Don't poo on the floor. And then he started talking about it. He's named, not after, but I've had quite a lot of my relations in the past called Ernest. And I told him that his great uncle Ernie had died in the Battle of Dunkirk, or just before, actually, as it turned out. And so then he started trying to tell the story of Ernie having died in the war, which was exciting as well. That was it was very inappropriate in a lot of ways. Oh, I said if I had my own island, what I'd like to do is sort of be a Scottish Jeffrey Epstein. That's what I was sort of like, you could have. Couldn't it be good? Because you've got your own island, it's your own laws, you can do anything you want. And I could have sex parties on there, but I thought it would only be with Scottish celebrities, wouldn't it? No one's going to travel to go to a horrible island off a cold, rainy other island. So I thought the sex parties would probably just be me and the Crankies, but I'd be up for that. And it's still underage, isn't it? It's still a schoolboy, so you might get a couple of them. If you're listening, Prince Andrew. The beauty of Wee Jimmy Cranky is, you get all the fun and it's not illegal. So it's all the fun. My guest today, he's probably best known. Oh, by the way, this is just for you guys here. Maybe I'll go out. We've just rearranged that gig that cancelled because my car tyre burst. It's going to be the 22nd of September at the Phoenix, where I'll be doing sort of an hour of stand-up about my testicle for a new podcast called Can I Have My Ball Back? There's the book of the same name out next month, and also another live Twitch of Fun. I've just tweeted it, David. You can find the ticket link if you. It's only going to be £5, so Bring all your family. Anyway, my guest today, that's just for you guys. My guest today is probably best known for playing Greg in Chubby Funny. Don't like that. Will you please welcome the incredible Pierre Novellie, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is. Here he is. Look at that. How you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah.
Good.
How are you doing?
I'm very good. You're kind of a giant. You kind of, especially
a giant.
You kind of are like a giant person. Like you look like sitting next to me. I've just been watching the BFG with my kids, and you kind of like. I feel like the little girl in the BFG, and you're the BFG.
I'm climbing in through your window.
Yeah.
With a long trumpet.
Yeah. That's what I feel like, especially now. And you've just come in. Have you grown in the last?
It's when seated, I think.
Okay. Massive.
It's because I'm tall and but wide.
Okay.
I think if you look like Stephen Merchant and you're tall and narrow, people just go, you're tall, yes.
Yeah.
Even though he's taller than me, but my friends at school said I looked like I've been badly photoshopped into all the pictures of us. And they said, you've been photoshopped in, but the scaling's wrong. Or you were in the picture normally, but someone cut round you and they enlarged you, but they held down shift. So the enlarging was in proportion. Okay. They were quite specific about how.
It's well worked out.
Yeah.
You asked me about what you should wear to the podcast day, and then...
And you said, the sexiest things you own. I want people titillated. That's what you said.
It's nice little comment. Yeah. I thought you'd maybe jogged in or something and were going to change when you got here, but
no. You said French exchange, summer edition, and I responded.
Good. They're very strong legs. They're strong, tree trunk legs. It's very distracting. Can you tell us about Greg in Chubby Funny before? I know you must have been asked about this a lot.
Oh yeah. It was a part that was largely cut from an indie film.
Okay.
That was written and directed by my friend. It was, although as part of the shooting, and one of the bits that was cut was I was massaged quite heavily by Dave Benson Phillips.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And as a foreigner, I was not fully acquainted with Dave Benson Phillips's oeuvre.
Yeah.
I just knew him as a sort of a man who kept sort of getting caught up in memes.
Yes.
And he's a good massager.
Okay.
Shoulder massager.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Not,
I had a
not
few
so good with the other body parts. Or
dog
just-
shit. Yeah. Violent and unthinking. No, he was very nice, and
Yeah.
he was very nice, and we did some fun riffing and stuff. All of which was just immediate. You could just practically see people going, we'll cut this. But it was fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to play a chugger.
Oh yes, charity mugger.
Yeah.
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 Good. Were you successful as a charity mugger?
In the fiction.
Yeah, in the fiction, did it? Because they're always.
I was successful in the fiction. It's
Yeah.
going door to door and kind of harassing people
Okay.
for money. And the main character was not, and that was I think the source of the humor of the
Okay.
scene.
Okay.
Was
Well,
that he
I
was-
must check it out.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually I try to shoot something that isn't very good. I saw your show in Edinburgh. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Like too much.
Yeah.
Because I've seen you before, and I don't think I've seen a full-length show. And again, there is a different full-length show on YouTube that people can see for free.
Yep.
This is a new thing that a lot of comics are doing. I didn't write down the name of that particular show.
It's called Quiet Ones.
Yes, that is correct. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well done.
It's part of the general bonfire of comedy where you just go, well, just put it on the fucking internet. Who cares? Just go. Just throw
But
it
it's
on
good.
there.
It's a good thing to do because
Yeah.
you can direct people to it, and then if they like it, they'll come and see it. And that's a very funny special.
Oh, thank you.
Well, and the Edinburgh show was really great. I saw it when I was tired near the end, and I kind of well, I'll try and go and see something, and it really gripped me. And as I was saying to you backstage, because the show's about not really being.
Not enjoying stuff.
Not enjoying stuff, and I'm really I often sit in any kind of form of entertainment and think, when is this going to be over? And then afterwards, I kind of retrospectively enjoy it.
Yes.
Whereas with you, I enjoyed it at the time and haven't thought about it since. So I don't know if that's-
I finally gave you a taste of what entertainment is like for normal people. That was fun. I'll delete it from my brain. It will never trouble me in the dark of night again.
Whereas often I watch a film and then go, I didn't really like it. Then I'll think about it. Go, it was good actually. So yeah, it's sort of.
Yeah.
But the show is about that show is which is called Why Can't I Just Enjoy Things?
Yeah.
Which is a question I feel very strongly about myself. So I think people who like my stand-up will enjoy your stand-up in that I think
Misanthropes.
it's misanthropic, and also it's taking an idea and really running with it. If you watch the online show, there's a fantastic, there's a few really great routines. There's a really great one about Charles Manson.
Oh, yes,
deciding to have a swastika put on his face mid-trial, which I didn't. It's just a great bit of information to find out. You explore it.
I laughed a lot when I found that out.
You explore it very brilliantly, but it is just hilarious that he would kind of be halfway through the trial and decide to do it.
You'd think, you know what? People need to know more about who I am without talking to me.
Yeah. So it's about, and there's the routine about if chickens didn't exist and you told a farmer that they wouldn't believe this incredible
magic animal.
Yeah.
It's the perfect animal.
Which is again I've seen someone say your stuff is like observational comedy for people who hate observational comedy.
Yeah, or who think they hate it.
Yeah.
If you think you're too good for it,
yeah,
you'll probably like the version of exactly what you hate that I do. It's like, it's sort of I don't know, it's the stand-up equivalent of going, fried chicken is an awful plebeian food, but goujons, they're great. I'm a goujon merchant. Sneaking it into people.
But it's, all comedy is based on some form of observation, really. Even
it has to be.
It has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Something's been observed, even if it's something surreal and weird. It's still an observation and a take on something. And I suppose the thing with observational comedy is it's difficult because many of the subjects have been covered
fairly extensively,
and so most things have been covered. So to find, and I think in the Why Can't I Just Enjoy Things, that you do a routine about children being told there are children in Africa who love that food, which again is a well-covered trope.
Yes.
But you do manage to find a different way of dealing with it, and I think that's the it's sort of, you know, it's like when I think when me and Stu started out, right, we said we won't do jokes about this, won't do jokes about it. We tried to avoid the common subjects, but actually, weirdly, both of our successful projects, once we stopped working together, were Jerry Springer the Opera, where we said we would never do comedy about personality, and Talking Cock, where we said we won't do obvious jokes about penises. Much, you know, and both of those, by coming at them from a different angle, were a way to find something new. So in a way, by something being well trodden, if you can find the new joke in it, it's quite...
The reward is almost more disproportionate.
Yeah.
Finding that hidden segment of the orange that's been otherwise punched into dust by thousands of comedians.
Yeah. And it's sort of, you know, it is important to try and be original as a comedian, and it is, and with the number of people doing it and the number of people who have done it, it's
and Twitter.
Yeah. It's almost impossible to come up with a new joke. But I think if you're doing observations or if you're doing routines, and it's very much about a persona, I suppose, with you. But it chimed with me in that, you know, I find it difficult to enjoy things. I like to be very pedantic about stuff. I don't get too excited about anything. To the extent, I mean, the show, to slightly ruin your show for anyone who's going to see it.
Yeah, spoiler alert. We make up this.
I mean, it ends in you finding out that you test for...
I do a test to see how far along the spectrum I am, and the test says, yeah, you're pretty fucking... you're, like I say in the show, not NASA, but European Space Agency. Sort of up there.
So after the show, I thought, it's so chimed with me. I thought I'd better go and take those tests to find out whether my obsessive desire to clear all the stones off a field and so on might be indicative of something. But I came out of a bang-on average normal person, and I was very upset. Yeah.
Oh. Even with the... Was there a question about playing snooker against yourself?
I think maybe I'm so far around that I'm maybe on the second or third lap.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like the world's fastest man. And so I go, well, this can't be him finishing the race.
But yeah, it's. I mean, again, that was a theme in this Fringe, wasn't it? I think that a lot of
neurodivergence
is
the word.
I was going to say load of mental comedians, but that you can't say that anymore.
Freaks,
Thanks
really.
to their political correctness gone mad. You can't. The things you can't say anymore. I still try and say them though, don't I? And then no one cares. So it's weird how you can do that. It's interesting how many. I mean, you would think that would be it's hard. We were sort of talking about this backstage. It's hard to know whether that's something to do with just being a comedian. There's a certain mindset of being a comedian.
I don't think anyone fully well would do this long enough to get good at it.
Yeah.
I think lots of people try it, and when they see how horrifying it is to sort of ritually humiliate yourself, they go, oh, well, no, I'll never do that again. Whereas I think there's something a bit wrong with you if you go, I want to do that for the rest of my life.
Well, and also to put yourself, I was sort of, this Fringe, and I only did half the Fringe, but I really sort of was thinking about the past and thinking about all the the terrible things that happened to me in Edinburgh that I put myself through. And it's such
the puppet, the dummy.
Puppets, the way he wanked off by the puppet, that's just the start of it.
Yeah. An ill omen for
it was. But so many kind of, every Fringe, there's you're almost suicidally depressed, or at least like extremely depressed. There were certainly times when I, was edging towards being suicidally depressed. Yeah. And all these comedians who have these mental difficulties putting themselves through the most stressful possible.
It is the wrong way round.
Yeah.
The only people who are doing the Fringe should be completely sort of mentally healthy, like Mormons, like clean living, cheerful, just like willing to withstand a month of that.
Yeah.
Not people who are already like that the rest of the year.
Yeah.
A friend of mine's worst Edinburgh moment was seeing someone's dog piss on a photo of his own face. Because his flyer had dumped a load of flyers in a bin instead of doing flyering. And enough that they were spilling out, and the dog had pissed on the corner of the big bin, and it was just landing on his face, and he was looking at it in the rain. And I think he'd got a 2-star review. There was like so many layers of despair to it. It's like a bad music video.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it did feel that whole bin situation that we talked about last week did feel like very metaphorical about the fridge in itself, that you end up trudging
crap everywhere,
stinking dog shit and
the phrase rat surge.
Yeah.
They told us to watch out for a rat surge, as though we would all go, right, yeah. One of them. As if that wasn't the first time anyone had ever heard that phrase. Surge.
Did anyone see a rat surge?
My producer saw a cat-sized rat sort of doodling along.
Right.
Yeah. But mainly it just smelled bad. I didn't see any rats. I was expecting a rat surge. I'd been promised one by the authorities.
A rat surge, presumably, is a lot of rats.
I imagine them sort of boiling out of a gutter, you know? Like the scarabs in The Mummy, just like a mime, just the skeleton left behind in an instant, like piranhas. But no, just one big fat rat just kind of ambling along, looking at flyers.
Shall I piss on it? No,
Doing
dog's pissed on that one. I'm not interested in that. Was this your best year at the Fringe? It did go very well, this show, and rightly so, I think.
It's the most I've enjoyed it, probably. It was my first year doing a solo show in the pay what you want model, and I felt that took a lot of pressure off.
Right.
In the sense that I sort of felt more like it was a sort of, oh, well, some of you have just got in for free, you know, so I'm 10% more entitled to sort of mess around or feel a bit loose.
Yeah.
Whereas I think before I felt too much like, the customers are here, what if they don't like the dinner I've made? And I spent all year making this big dinner. And maybe that made me less fun. Yeah. I think the audiences can smell when you're taking your job seriously, and they don't like it.
No. Well, again, it is a weird thing about comedy in that you have to be diligent, you have to work hard, you have to really craft it, but it also has to appear effortlessly like it's being just thrown away.
Yeah, the more professional you are, the more people will hate it. Yeah. And therefore, the less professional you are.
Yeah.
Whereas, like as you say, you have to spend all year training like Cirque du Soleil, and then in the moment appear sort of at least drunk, if not actively forgetful.
So how many Edinburgh shows have you done?
It was number 7.
7th one, yeah. Because it's sort of crazy now, you know. Like I've talked about you and Ellen last week being kind of new comedians, but you've both been going for. I mean, I gigged with you back in like.
We did some previews.
I feel like I did some stand-up gigs with you like in the 2000s, right? In the noughties.
No.
No.
I just someone who looked exactly like me.
Maybe honestly I can't. It definitely was you, but I can't remember when anything happened.
I think we gigged together in the early, I don't know what we call them, teens.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we did a preview in that we had cinema in Brixton in 2017.
Okay.
We did an Edinburgh preview. It was quite close to the Fringe because the venue was just all like windows.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of golden light blasting the audience in the face, reminding them of, you know, the fact that it's summer and they don't have to sit in a room listening to 2 guys read out of notebooks. Also in a cinema. And directly in the room next door is $1 billion piece of entertainment that they could be enjoying instead of this mad shit. Yeah. But they stayed.
Yeah, they stayed. That's good. Don't remember it at all. And you'd obviously been working on this show for quite a while because of a lockdown. Was this the show you'd planned to bring up in 2020?
It was a version of it, yeah. So I'd done previews and things ready for 2020, and then I did a preview in February that went quite well. So I thought, oh, this would be a good year. I was wrong overall, I'd say, about 2020. I wish I could say I was diligent enough that I'd been sat like with a sort of a jeweler's eyepiece crafting it. But mostly I was just free pouring whiskey into pints of Diet Coke for a lot of the lockdown. Yeah. So, but I guess technically, working on it for a while.
Because it feels. I mean, you're very good with language, and it feels like everything's very precise. It's the precision of it's great. But you use the dictionary very effectively.
Oh yes. keep it by my bed.
So it's it felt like a lot of work had gone into it, but I don't know whether that was.
That's very kind of you.
Yeah.
Always very precise with my language. I was imitating or trying to be more like a comedian called Johnny White, really.
Right.
Who's not well known, but I'm sort of obsessed with him. He's got 2 albums on Bandcamp that you can listen to. And he's incredibly all of his shows would work as prose, I think.
Yeah.
But it's florid without being inaccessible, or it's not like Will Self.
Yeah.
It's not like that. There's something really great about it, and I thought I really like this, so I'm going to imitate it.
Okay.
I'll do my own crude version.
I think, but I've found that, especially again, taking a show and doing it for a long period of time, you just really think about so many things. But the correct word in the correct place, and using words that people aren't necessarily going to 100% definitely know the definitions of.
Yes.
I think it's not talking down to people, but it does give a sort of extra quality to everything. I think.
I did a charity gig at the Comedy Store, and backstage was where the comedians Helen Bauer and Darren Harriott, and they were watching because there's a TV screen in the green room.
Yeah.
And I came off stage and I did the routine about chicken grease from the YouTube special where I used the word suffused.
Yes.
And apparently Helen told me she'd said to Darren watching on the screen, I love gigging with Pierre because every time I learn a new word. And I was flattered and at that moment fully aware of how commercially dead. I was like, oh, that's me done. Okay. People hate learning new words.
They shouldn't.
Yeah,
and it was a very enjoyable show, and you are touring it presumably.
I'm going to take it around. Yeah, I'm not sure where and when yet, but definitely, yeah.
Cool. Well, people should definitely watch out for that, and it's fantastic. You have a very neat beard.
Thank you.
I think people with neat beards are untrustworthy.
Huh? But so would you say that you are an untrustworthy man?
I don't think my beard's neat. I think my
pretty
beard.
Neat.
It's just this is how it grows.
That's no excuse.
I don't groom it. I don't. There's no.
That's how it grows.
Yeah.
Not a stray hair. Your beard grows like you're a video game avatar. Just into a sort of other preset head.
I would say it was messy. Yours is all sculpted. I think you're untrustworthy.
Do you not get the high hairs? They climb your cheek?
No, not really. No, in fact, for a long time, it only grew underneath my chin.
Oh.
So I didn't have anything on my actual face, and it stayed
like an
fairly
Amish.
low. Yeah.
An Amish man.
Yeah. Do you think that's a fair? See, is that? I don't think it's sort of. It's not a prejudice like a physical prejudice because one chooses to groom their beard. So I think you can generalize about people who groom their beards that they are probably serial killers.
Yeah.
Or that's that at worst.
I don't know. I think serial killers tend to have. If they have beards, they tend to be fairly unkempt. They've been too busy doing all the stalking and killing.
The Yorkshire Ripper had a very nice...
Did he?
Yeah, very nice beard.
Well, I've never met him.
Yorkshire Ripper, Noel Edmonds.
Yes.
He never got to serial, but he got a couple.
I can't imagine anyone worse to dispose of a body with than Mr. Blobby. You know, in films when you're only lit by the headlamps of your car, and you're both in the woods digging, and the body's in the boot, just Mr. Blobby falling in and screaming and waking everyone up and turning around with a spade and knocking you in. And
I trust Mr. Blobby though. I don't trust Noel Edmonds. But I just want you to know that because that will affect the interview because I don't. I'm not trusting anything.
That's good though.
I like you, and
it's like Frost Nixon.
Yeah.
You're on your toes.
I just don't know. I don't know, but I don't know if that says something about me or whether that's. But it's right though, isn't it, David? Do you think?
But what about the fact that nature herself has groomed your beard? Does that not mean that your sort of untrustworthiness is even more inherent?
I think maybe if I let it grow for another week, you wouldn't feel it was so. I usually shave it off before it. Again, like when the first time I really grew a beard was for Excavating Rita, which was a play I did in about 97, I think 97 or 98, and it only grew underneath, and I didn't shave at all.
Yeah.
And that was the only Edinburgh Fringe where I don't think I had any sex of any kind, even with a ventriloquist dummy. So,
even the dummy's head sort of slowly rotated away.
So it was not an attractive side. Maybe in my age, I'm becoming more untrustworthy. I'm a very trustworthy person. It might be something about me. Are you the Yorkshire Ripper? You've got a very Yorkshire Ripper. Yeah, that's all right, mate. You're okay.
Oh, yeah. But you've got quite a low-buttoned shirt. Does that factor in?
He's nice. He's a nice-looking boy. Is he with you, Luke? No? Could be by the end of the night.
Yeah. No one has hairy chests in films anymore.
No. Or hairy anything.
Yeah.
In the films I watch.
Yeah. I don't know how you CGI individual hairs onto the Hulk's chest. I mean, it would be a fucking pain. But still, the last person I remember having a hairy chest in a movie was Pierce Brosnan as Bond.
Yeah?
He had a proper sort of chest rug as he groaned his way through being James Bond.
Hair has become very unfashionable.
Yeah.
In all senses.
Apart from face hair.
Face hair's allowed.
That's allowed.
And, it's a good way to see who you can trust and who you can't trust.
Yeah, that's why they
That's good. Let me ask you an emergency question.
Okay.
To get out. I've been very rude I've been embarrassed that I've been so rude to you, to call you untrustworthy, even though I'm definitely right. Just find me a man with a groomed beard who you can trust, and then I will take back what I've said. And the crowd were silent. Do you think your obituary photo has already been taken? And if so, what is it? Or do you think it is yet to come?
Well, we took a photo in the green room earlier.
I think that could be it.
Yeah, I think so.
If we both go tonight, that will definitely. That will be it.
Yeah. They say we don't know who stabbed first. We just know one of them was untrustworthy.
One of them was untrustworthy, and one of them was 10 times bigger than the other.
But you can get under,
That's true. That's true.
Obituary photo. Hopefully it's not been taken, but
yeah,
they're always like, if you're a comedian and you die, they always use a photo of you going like, oh, like doing something zany.
Yeah.
Which I think is disrespectful. But then I guess if some famously amusing person died and they used a photo of them that was sort of like, like that you find in the back of a volume of poems.
Yes.
Sort of like turtleneck, like frowning, black and white. People would go, when did they take that? Of I don't know, one of those entertainers from the UK that inevitably I've never heard of. He's like sort of quite fat and racially insensitive.
Yeah.
But they're always remembered really fondly in talking head shows in a way that I can't understand.
Right.
Yeah.
But so you were born in South Africa.
Yes.
And you grew up. But how you moved to the Isle of Man, right? Is that right?
Yeah, Isle of Man, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the only place more racist than South Africa. You had to really search the world for that one.
Hey, there's nowhere more. I will say that one of the things that I used to have a routine about, which recently we had a family wedding in the UK, and some of my relatives flew over from South Africa, and their accents are obviously phenomenally strong, is that you attract British racists like a sort of flypaper.
Right.
Genuinely, they hear your accent and they make a beeline for you because they go, that's someone who'll like what I have to say. And then they say these harrowing things to you in a kind of hushed excitement, like as if they know a joke you'll particularly love. And you have to sort of, it's very hard to know how to react because your instinct is saying, well, it would be rude to just go, fuck off into someone's face, but you can't go and like tap your nose and go, oh, I know, yeah. It used to happen a lot to me, and it's very hard to deal with. And then what was that? The rest of that routine was it's like being an inverted immigrant because the only people happy to see you are racists. They see you somehow as reinforcements against the other immigrants, and the people who aren't happy to see you are progressive people because they assume you're a racist because of the color of your skin and where you're from.
Yeah.
And the irony does tend to escape them when they accuse you of that. But South Africa and then the Isle of Man.
So how old were you when you moved to the Isle of Man?
As we sort of finished the move, because it was quite hard to do. It took months to sort everything out. As we completed the move, I turned 7 basically.
Okay.
Then I was sort of starting school and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then has the Isle of Man got a lot of different references to the UK mainland?
Well, you can't say mainland. You'll be in trouble.
Will I?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Watch out.
Sorry, you Manx cunts.
But you knew the right adjective, though. That's impressive.
I wrote the entry on the Isle of Man for the Macmillan Macmillan Encyclopedia of the Royal Family, 1992. So I know I did research.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote it was just before the royal family imploded, so nobody has this book. I do have a copy now. I'm not credited in the book, and I'm annoyed about it because I've written at least 4 or 5 entries in there. One of them was the Isle of Man. They roll something down a hill in the Isle of Man, right? They roll a barrel with spikes on the inside down a hill.
No, they killed a witch doing that.
Okay.
Last year. No, it wasn't last year. It was hundreds of years ago, but when everyone was doing it. It's they've got quite specific references. I mean, it's got its own sort of Gaelic language and its own flag, its own government, and yeah, you'd be like a more insane version of Jethro if you wanted. Just gig in a circuit of 7 pubs on the Isle of Man doing incredibly specific references. I've done 1 club gig on the Isle of Man. It's the only time in my life I was able to do local material.
Yeah.
I've never been able to know local things and get that kind of reaction out of people.
Yeah.
It felt like, when you swim with flippers and you just go unreasonably fast. Yeah. It felt great. No wonder people do it all the time. I wish I had local material, but I don't. I have international material.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
You do a podcast with Phil Wang.
Yes.
And you both come from kind of a similar background in a way, in that you're both sort of neither. You're men without a country almost, or you're men with 2 countries and feel welcome in neither of them.
Rootless cosmopolitans.
Or you feel rootless, I guess.
Yeah. Well, he moved when he was much older from Malaysia. So he's a bit more disconnected. But yeah, we're both just from hot former colonies where all the TV was like bafflingly out-of-date American television. So we share a lot of the same completely age-inappropriate references to sort of various sitcoms and very niche like animated series and things. And that was one of the weirdest transitions when I moved here, was the transition from a very American-style kids' entertainment, comic books and TV shows, to British.
Yeah.
Because I read Spider-Man in South Africa, and here's the Beano. Which is a horrifying Spider-Man. He's fighting an octopus robot. And then the Beano was like, I shot a pea at the vicar. What the fuck is this? There aren't any mutants in this at all. I've never even heard of half of these comedic desserts. Why is the teacher dressed like a graduate? It doesn't make any sense.
So is that what brought you 2 together? Is that sort of otherness?
Yeah, I think it means that we had a lot more of the same perspectives on things. Yeah. And we both hate hot weather. Because if you live somewhere hot, it's the least escapable type of weather. Yeah. If you're cold, you can warm up. But if you're hot, you're just kind of fucked. You're just going to be hot and stinky all day and tired. And it's awful. Yeah. Yeah. It's no good. But that's our future.
It is. So the podcast is called Bud Pod.
Bud Pod, yeah. Hey, Koji. Hey.
Yeah, so what's that?
They're all here, every listener.
I've listened to some recent...
They've all come...
I've listened to some recent episodes, so
no.
So I don't know what does Koji mean.
So a guy called Jack invented it, I think, by accident, because early on Phil was determined that the podcast not become a kind of scatological jizz fest.
Yeah.
He wanted a respectable podcast he could take home to his mum, and then he ruined it himself, like in a kind of nice and ironic way, by telling a very funny story about having to sort of rifle through his own shit for the purposes of a kind of medical test.
Right.
And then that kicked off a wave of poo stories from listeners that has not ever stopped. And then we kept talking about how we should have a catchphrase. Podcasts have catchphrases, don't they? And this guy, I think it was Jack, signed off his email with "Keep on jacking it." And some sort of wank story. Right. And I said, there's a catchphrase. And Phil was so upset at the idea that obviously everyone listening immediately went, right, well, that's how we'll all sign off all of our emails forever now. So that's what it stands for. Okay. It's also the name of quite a popular Asian spice of some kind. So people keep sending us photos of koji as an ingredient and things, going, ah, ha, ha, ah, ha, ha, look, come, ha, ha, ha. It's inevitably on a sign in some Asian restaurant or on the back of a kind of spice container. Yeah. Yes. So it's become everything that Phil feared. So, yeah, it's good. Yeah.
But it's, you know,
he's trapped now. He's trapped in it.
You've done like 180 episodes or something like that,
Yeah, it's
approaching that. So it's
a lot more than I think we both thought we'd end up doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been some pretty horrifying stories on it. Funny, but oof. There's an episode called The Nadir.
Okay.
Which is, if you listen to that, it's.
I
tried to submit the shit story from that to the British Podcast Awards, but it was over 15 minutes in length, so I couldn't do it. It was ineligible. Yeah, it's really horrid.
Yeah, it's great. We know, but it's like the original days of podcasting. It's just two
weird guys,
two
talking
weird
about
men
poo.
talking to each other.
Yeah. Back to basics.
It's back to the basics.
No production values.
And is that going in? Is it? It's clearly you've got a following, and is it a living to do the podcast, or is it just fun to do the podcast?
It would to quote the excellent comedian Sean McLaughlin's joke. It wouldn't be a living. It would be a surviving.
Right.
Like I wouldn't die soon, but I don't know if I could retire now.
Okay.
And the ones you've listened to, normally when we have time and energy, we put little sketches in and songs and stuff. And Phil's actually quite a good singer, so he gets to show that off. Yeah. But no, it's going with it. Lots of pod buds came to see the show in Edinburgh, which is very nice because it makes you realize that the thing you're putting out there, it exists and is real, and people have heard it.
Yeah.
So you go, oh, thank God for that, because you're never sure.
No, and I think that that's what I found out very early with podcasts is it did some of this front row attest to it, and their age attest to it that they
been there from the start.
They came there from the start, and
your disciples.
David was, I think, like about 12 when he first came. It's just been a long time, but no, it did, and you had those. It's a lovely thing, and you get this community.
It's really validating.
Whichever, I think that some of the podcasts are huge, obviously, and have a massive community, but there's this sustaining, I think, group of people who get you and will come and see you.
It's very validating.
Yeah.
And so thank you to all the podbuds who are here now, because again, it's just like going, all the listener figures aren't just like a botnet in the Philippines that my mum has paid to flatter me or something. Like it's real. Yeah. Although I don't, we're not at off menu levels. When people start saying keep on jacking it on dating apps, then like poppadoms or bread level of market. Oh, sorry, I don't want to go on a second date. Well, keep on jacking it. Don't worry about it. Koji, thank you. Unmatched. That'd be good.
Yeah. We'd all like that. We'd all like to be off menu, obviously, but we just have to make do what we got, haven't we? I'm going to ask another emergency question. I'm just doing them because I'm being embarrassing. Let me see. Let me have a little look. If your genitals had to be replaced by the face of one of the Muppets,
oh yeah,
the face would be able to interact and communicate in exactly the same way as the puppet.
As the character itself. Yeah. Okay.
Which puppet face would replace your genitals?
Wait, someone said Gonzo in the audience there because he's the most penile.
Yeah. Doesn't have to,
He's the most penile.
But would you
of the
use
Muppets.
Gonzo as, if you're having sex, would you then force that Muppet head to fuck someone? And that seems unpleasant.
Well, he would have he'd have something to say about it. So we'd all be getting a lot out of it, I think. He'd be saying some version of "It's a living," or as you shoved his foam nose into someone. The second most penile Muppet is that American eagle. Eagle. Eagle.
Yeah.
What's his name? Sam.
Sam. Yeah.
Sam. Least imaginatively named of the Muppets.
If you were on Pointless and had to choose a Muppet to be a pointless Muppet, which Muppet would you choose to be pointless?
Oh.
Because I've thought about this.
Well, obviously the temptation is Dr. Bunsen Honeydew.
Yeah.
He's a man of science.
You'd probably might get that because people wouldn't know the name. They would know the character.
The green round one who's Beaker's boss. It's unclear.
Yeah.
Beaker is an intern in his lab.
Yeah.
But without Beaker around, I imagine he's a more responsible scientist.
Yeah.
Beaker tends to be the one who causes the explosions.
Yeah.
They're never clear what Dr. Bunsen Honeydew is working on. Beaker is a much less sympathetic character if it's like a cure for some terrible disease. Keeps knocking over flasks and screaming.
I think their
People really hate Beaker.
I think
that was the
their scene in The Muppet Christmas Carol is one of the greatest pieces of drama that has ever been seen.
Which one is
They
that?
come to Michael Caine and they try to get a donation out of him, but Beaker's just going in the background, but it's otherwise completely straight. But Beaker's going,
but still desperate for money.
Yeah. It's absolutely brilliant. And Michael Caine's fantastic. I would choose New Zealand is the character I would choose.
Is that the cool band guy?
He throws boomerangs at the start of Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh.
Yeah.
The boomerang fish guy.
Yeah, boomerang.
Oh, and yeah.
I don't think anyone would know that, but
that
now.
is niche.
But if you're asked by Pointless for a Muppet character, don't say New Zealand. It's mine.
Yeah. Maybe I would like who's the one like Gonzo tends to succeed despite himself.
Yeah.
The worst one would be Fozzie Bear.
Fozzie Bear. Yeah, but that's not going to be Pointless, is it?
No.
Are you talking about being a genitals or being a pointless answer?
In every sense. He'd be doing knock-knock jokes
He would.
into someone else's genitals.
He would.
And that's no good.
It is no good.
Not these days.
What was I going to ask you?
It's the last place to enjoy a knock-knock joke.
Oh, good. This might be... You talk about conspiracy theories in one of your shows.
Yeah.
Which conspiracy theory do you think might actually be true?
Oh, COVID from a lab. I genuinely sort of go, oh, I'm 50-50 on that. More and more, it seems like that's not true, but I still just think, oh, it was too good at what it did. It was really good. Really good at being a disease.
What about COVID not actually being real? What about that one?
COVID not being real?
Yeah, not being a thing, being made up.
I had COVID original recipe very early on.
Yeah.
So I have to believe in it now, unless.
Yeah. Did you though?
Well, it's a good point.
I'm pretty much, of the opinion that COVID was a real thing. We all had to stay inside and wear masks, and that was a good thing. But since we've
Please let me be the guest on the episode where you go full mental. please let me. Please let me have the honor of killing you. Chopping off your head.
How come now we're all laid out and stuff?
Yeah.
No one's dying anymore. What's going on with that? How come everyone's all right now? How come it's all right now?
It'd be very funny to talk about the vaccination program as if it was like a UFO abduction. The government texted me. I don't know how they got my number. They told me to go to a room. Someone I've never met injected me. And now I can't get COVID anymore. Explain that.
Might be that. Might be that.
Yeah. Do you know anyone who, owing to the COVID lasting 2 years, lost their minds, gained some brainworms?
I mean, the thing that a lot of people my age are just losing their minds.
Yeah.
Regardless, like in a terrifying, absolutely people you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
Denying global warming.
Just very basic things. Yeah.
Yeah, and COVID stuff, and if you get onto trans.
Oh yeah, that's everywhere.
A lot of them really don't like talking about that.
Something about locking people in their house for 2 years made them go weird. Some of us did lockdown right and just gained a lot of weight and discovered that they were technically disabled. Legally. Yeah.
Were you doing your podcast presumably through COVID?
All the way through?
Yeah.
In fact, if you listen to Bud Pod, there's an episode where we have Adam Hess on, and we talk about, me and Phil especially with his experience of like having rolled his eyes over like SARS and things. We were both just like, yeah, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It won't be anything. And then I think in like the next episode, I have COVID. And my younger sister texted me to say, that's the illest you've ever sounded in your life. So it's like a timeline of it. And people have emailed in saying, either they're a new listener going through the back catalogue or they're re-listening and they go, it's like a horrifying historical drama where I want to reach through time and warn you. Because you're all talking like, well, nothing bad could happen here in Pearl Harbor. I mean, it's a tropical paradise.
It's
we're so far from anything. Nothing could sneak up on us.
Although a lot of podcasts started out, midway through COVID, I guess.
No respect for them.
But no respect for them. But it's interesting. There must be a lot of that because we were doing. The last ones we did in the theatre was Michael Palin and Aisling B.
Yeah.
And even looking back a week later, I was thinking, fuck, we got Michael Palin, like a man in his 70s,
to stand in
into the central London in a full theatre right at the start of COVID.
Yeah.
And if I'd killed Michael Palin,
Imagine. Yeah, but then you would have gained all of his powers. So you would have suddenly been really good at hosting documentaries and having kind eyes on camera.
He'd had a heart surgery like months before, so it was like absolutely...
Yeah. You thought you'd position him in front of an enormous sort of breath cannon. People just all going, ha! All over his face.
And it was insane because the next week we cancelled before everyone else cancelled. We said, well, we can't.
Yeah.
We can't do it. So we were like amongst the first to cancel. A few Adam Kay had cancelled and stuff, and so he was saying he thought we should. And so it's amazing how how quickly it came upon us.
Which lockdown celebrity podcast made you the most furious at the bandwagon jumping? You thought, oh, fuck off. This is for us, the dregs, not for you.
Well, I think just generally, like everyone getting on board when there was money in it was the and a little, I think if it had adversely affected, there's enough to go round at the moment, right? I think, but still, even with all the extra ones that have come along, but I think also it's so much about having the ability, the staying power, which is all I have. I can keep doing stuff forever. I can clear stones off a field. Yeah. I've done 130 of those fuckers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to... As long as you can keep going, because what happens is, I think the thing with successful people, like super successful people, is they can't do them because they have proper work. Once the proper work came back, they have stuff to do. I don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
I can do 4 podcasts a week.
But that's why they've all gone.
Yeah.
COVID ended and Rob Brydon remembered he hosted television shows. And didn't have to talk to Will Ferrell on Zoom. Will Ferrell also presumably quite busy.
I think it took me a long time to realise that it was a perfect opportunity to talk to people around the world. Yeah. And it might have been a great time to kind of make a grab. I think John Oliver was in the end the only person I really thought, I should finally get John Oliver on. Which was a good decision, but maybe
Imagine a world where it had been a bad decision. What would have had to have happened for that to turn on?
But as you say, all those people doing nothing.
Yeah.
And and just the ability to communicate, which is it. That's the weird thing again. It happened. Again, I'm not saying COVID was a good thing, but it happened. It happened at exactly the right point in terms of. If we all had to stay inside for 2 years, technology had just got to the point where that meant also we could talk to each other and play stupid games with each other and do quizzes with each other and stuff.
Yeah.
Because if it had happened any other time...
Even in dial-up, it would have been hell.
It would.
Just people playing the original Warcraft game against each other. Pixels. It would have been a nightmare. Also, you need to lock celebrities up in their house with no attention for months for them to finally relish the idea of speaking to a stranger.
Yeah.
Because that's all that's happening to them all the time. But then if you take it away, they'll talk to you on Zoom.
Yeah. So maybe I should have made a grab for more of those.
Just release a new disease.
Yeah. Next time.
Yeah.
Next time. We're prepared for the next one.
Yeah.
We were talking about, because I put on some weight. Annoyingly, I lost a lot of weight last year and worked quite hard at it. And then gradually over this year, it's gone up a bit. And then I was just doing well, and then I went away to Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And I'm basically back to where I started.
Yeah.
I have been 10 kilograms heavier than this, I realised, so that's something.
That's good.
So I've been over... You were talking about being over 100 kilograms.
Well over. I still am now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but you're huge. I've been... tall.
Yeah.
I've been over 100 kilograms. I'm back at over 90, which is very disappointing for me.
Yeah, but it's the fringe. You need a treat.
Yeah.
And you can't, drink all the time and smoke all the time, or because it ruins the show. But a big hamburger doesn't ruin the show, as long as you don't eat it in the hour before. So you just end up eating like someone who's just found out they're shortly going to prison. Every day, just eating like a trucker or a dying king. That's what I did.
It's very. It's again. I just think the difficult of getting through it's so weird because it shouldn't be difficult. It's like an hour's work a day.
And a fun festival with
and
all
a
your
fun
friends.
festival. But it's so emotionally devastating. I think it's like it's really.
You've watched a dog piss on your own face.
Yeah.
It's time for a hamburger.
Yeah. It's such a, but everyone willingly goes back. Do you think it's gonna? Do you think this year will be a turning point? Do you think people? A lot of people said they wouldn't go back. I'm not sure. I want to go back immediately anyway.
I think a lot of people who had a tough one this year will not want to have a tough one again, and I think it won't be any nicer next year. And apparently, they're already. The people who rent out things for the Fringe in Edinburgh are already pre-gouging up the prices for next year now.
Right.
So it's it's just going to get more and more Thunderdome-y. Like some version of the Hunger Games where you have to be really rich to play in the Hunger Games, where it's only taking place in the middle quadrant where they're all already wealthy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not good though. Yeah.
No, it just it made me. I mean, it's always been a pretty middle class and a pretty white festival.
Yeah.
But it just feels like. I don't think when I first went up, I was, I didn't have any money at all, and I was able to go and afford to see shows, and I was, we did it very cheaply, and it was paid for by a, college, or whatever.
I think it's cut the middle out.
Yeah.
Because you can still see there's so much free stuff or pay what you want stuff that you can, if you queue up, you can get in for free and things like that. That the two versions of the Fringe now are, I'm not troubled by an insane like £180 a night 2-star Travelodge bill for 5 nights, or I'm sleeping in a hostel with a bunch of terrifying backpackers and sneaking into free shows. But that middle group of audience that would sort of see shows that cost £9 or whatever and to stay in a kind of student flat.
Yeah.
There's no middle anymore. I think it's been carved out. Yeah.
But like someone like Simon Munnery, who's my age, and Tony Law, both camped like outside of.
Yeah,
the
that's not.
and that's absolutely
insane.
Like big men in their 50s camping.
It's like something from the Dust Bowl. Well, I have to be outside of the town, and I take my wagon in and sell my jokes. It's going to be like Grapes of Wrath, where you're going to end up being breastfed by a woman to get your strength back up so that you can do another show.
Well, it doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah. It'd be a great way to fly her while latched.
There's got to be a way to. But again, I don't know if I'm just an old man looking back. I don't particularly look back at the 90s as a very happy time. I think the 90s. I had a horrible time all the way through Edinburgh. But the actual Fringe itself did at least feel like you could get your show seen.
Yeah.
You could make up a show as you went along as well. You could improve a show.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of people do work in progress now, but you could go with an idea and see how it went and
do it organically.
Yeah. And it felt small enough that it was, you could get to know, you meet people and get to know. Now it's just, and even this year was apparently 2007 levels of number of shows. So
Something like that, yeah.
So it had gone back.
Late noughties.
So we'd lost quite a lot of shows, but also it was 50%. Was it some 25%?
27% audience down for the ticketed venues.
But that must mean like closer to 50. If there's that many fewer shows, then we're selling a lot.
The disparity is that the shows were down by half as much as the audience.
Yeah.
So it wasn't in lockstep, and that is what made some people who have like great shows and are in great venues have like not bumper sold out shows, which is what they're absolutely used to and should have, because just wasn't enough people around.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so for you, the Monkey Barrel was I paid for my ticket in advance, but you could.
Good.
But you could pay.
They keep 10% of the tickets back no matter what.
Yeah.
So you're sold out when you reach 90% sold, and then you can just queue up, and it's to make sure that there's still an element of being able to get in for free.
Yeah.
And to kind of dilute the tyranny of the organized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there seemed to be a lot of good shows on at the Monkey Barrel, and it seemed to be a well-run.
It's the fairest deal as well for the acts. The acts get more money from the tickets as well.
Right. Yeah.
So, it just who'd have thought that offering a less crippling deal would have been appealing.
I mean, the Stand have done that for a while, I guess. I don't know how the deals compare, but the Stand deal was always quite good. But yeah, the other.
Yeah. But the Stand always seemed more like not like a closed shop, but it seemed like you needed to be pretty elite to climb over that wall.
Yeah.
If you weren't, known.
No, for sure.
Known to them. But that's just an outside assumption.
It's all interesting stuff for me. Not so much for the listeners.
No.
It might be interesting for the listeners, and fuck them. It's not their show. If you were God, Pierre. If you were God.
If I was God.
Yeah. Why would you have people have to pray to you for things that are clearly need sorting out? Why wouldn't you just sort it out?
There's no fun in that.
Oh, okay.
They've got to learn.
Okay. That wasn't my question. Okay. If you were God, what flavour would you have made ejaculant? Because it's...
Ejaculant?
Yeah, ejaculant.
Okay. What flavour?
Yeah, because it's like God wasn't even considering people were going to eat this stuff.
It's like it never occurred to him.
Yeah.
But we know it must have. That's the fun thing about God.
And then he chose that flavour.
He said, I know what people deserve. But if it was strawberry milkshake, then you wouldn't go, yum, this ejaculant tastes of strawberry milkshake. You would go, oh no, I made a type of milkshake that's just like a big frothy pint of cum. I suppose what I'm saying is that the taste of cum would be the superior, like, everything else would become a subset of it almost by force, wouldn't it?
No, I hadn't thought of it that way, and that's your
And imagine the horror of if you didn't know that and you had a strawberry milkshake, and then you tasted cum and you'd go, you'd be very worried about the person.
Yeah.
Until someone kindly explained that no, that's how it all is. Do you think the issue is more with taste or texture?
I mean, I haven't eaten that much of it myself.
Yeah. It's very albumin.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's not,
No one's adding that texture to food, are they? Outside of some fairly niche dishes. They tend to cook it out.
They do, yeah. I mean, some people like it.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah.
I've never met those people. Never met any of those people. Good point. Very good point. If you had a silo, what would you store in it?
What do you mean if? If I had a silo, like a really big agricultural silo.
Yeah, if you can put anything you like in there.
Strawberry flavoured cum, I suppose. I don't know. A silo? That's a good question. It would have to be something that kept. You wouldn't want to keep avocados in a silo. That would be a nightmare. God, I don't know. What would be the funniest thing to store for someone to discover? Just home and garden, just every edition.
Yeah. Quite good.
You'd be terrified. You go, there's a body under these magazines. A silo full of old house.
Yeah, it'd be quite
magazines.
Like
yeah.
Doll parts. Parts of dolls, but just like a silo full.
But it would have to be maybe just the left leg.
Yeah.
If it was assorted doll parts, you could conceivably try and tell yourself, no, there's a chance this is a former toy factory. There was just left legs of dolls. You'd go, no, a man wrought this. This is bad. We should leave. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, good. That's all right. That's fine.
Yeah, I think, I'm going to go with left legs of dolls.
That's fine.
To upset whoever stumbles across it long after my death.
That's good. Something occurred to me then and it's gone. It's gone. That's what happens when you get old.
Yeah.
It's not so, it's not such... enjoy being young, that's what I'd say. Enjoy your young life. I'll ask you another emergency question to get out of that embarrassment. I was going to ask, this is a question, but then if you're on the Isle of Man, are there any celebrities from the Isle of Man? Did any celebrities go to your school? I guess either in South Africa when you were at infant school?
I don't know about my sort of weird infant school in South Africa, but yeah. Well, the Bee Gees were born on the Isle of Man.
Wow. But
they fled.
Yeah.
Your voices are too high, they said. The dogs are upset, and they kicked them off the island. You're upsetting all the animals. My school, yeah. There's a guy called Mad Jack Churchill.
Oh, yeah.
Who went to my school, who's the only officer, the only soldier in World War II who carried a sword and a bow and arrow. And he did a commando beach assault on German positions in Norway playing bagpipes with his sword on, because he was unwell in a courageous way. And he sort of escaped prisoner of war camps and captured a whole German unit on his own and was just sort of generally mad.
Yeah.
And has quite a long Wikipedia entry dedicated to how unusually mad he was.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's quite a classic sort of like old school kind of person.
Yeah.
It's not a pop star.
No, he's no Bee Gees.
He's no Bee Gees.
No, he's done all right.
His high voice would have alerted the German sentries. So you wouldn't want us to do a sneak attack with the Bee Gees, Richard. That's all I'll say.
So I saw on your website, on my diligent research of your life.
I'm just laughing at the idea of high-pitched whispering in a sort of D-Day scenario. That's really... You make yourself laugh. That's
it's all right. It's all right. As long as someone's laughing, that's all that matters in this job.
You saw my website?
Yeah. There's a sketch show called Cuts.
Yeah.
Is that anything happening with that?
No.
There's a one... No?
Me and my colleague, comedy friend, collaborators, Theo and Johnny, who are friends of mine, we thought we'd write some sketches because we got nostalgic for when we all wrote sketches together, sort of 10 years ago or whenever it was, and it was good fun. And then we got some comedian friends, cobbled together some resources with Stuart Laws, the great, fantastic comedian and producer and director from Turtle Canyon, and we filmed it, and we put it online, and people said, ha ha ha. And that was it. They're good sketches.
They're good sketches. It's an
proud
interesting. It's sort of dark but funny as well, which is a good combination.
The Paella Hound.
So was it just made for online and there was no?
We sent it to people.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, yeah," or they just said nothing. If we said to them, "Hey, would you like a sketch show written by?" Three guys who met at Cambridge. Don't worry, we're all white. And don't worry, we're all privately educated. If you would like to really upset everyone in the world, you could give us a massive sketch show. You would have probably upset all the other white guys who met at Cambridge who also did sketch. They'd be the most angry, followed by everyone else. We didn't have high hopes for it. But it was fun to make some sketches and put them on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the cast is really good.
It is really good.
People were really nice about doing it.
Yeah.
Thank God, because if we'd had to do it, I don't think it would have been as good. So we just got people who were better at acting than us.
There were some good actors.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, I suppose that's the way forward is just to because it's very high production values. I think that's why.
That's down to Stu and Turtle Canyon. I mean, and Matt Riley, who the reason the whole thing happened, I should say, is because Matt Riley, who's a director, messaged me on Instagram, just DM'd me saying, "Do you want to make some sketches?" And that's what sparked the whole thing off. He's great, yeah. So I highly recommend. He's made loads of high-end adverts. That's probably why it looks so good.
Okay.
Him and Stuart Laws.
What's interesting is that's possible to do. I mean, I think for what it's weird to think of Cambridge graduates struggling to get TV shows as well as everyone else, but anyone can do that to some degree and make stuff on their phones if necessary or whatever.
As long as you have a friend who works for a production company.
Well, but you can get stuff up online.
Run.
You can do
stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, it is the way to get past those gatekeepers who. I mean, sketch shows is now probably the hardest thing to get on and stay on. I think, isn't it?
They're too expensive. Yeah. That's what I've been told repeatedly. Yeah. But no, if I had any gumption, I'd just be filming myself doing silly voices on TikTok. Which I have some silly voices and things that I can do, but I'm just lazy and I'm just... Do you have that thing where you go, but if I tried and failed, then that would be worse than the success I can imagine in my head?
For sure. Well, I did for a long time, I think. I did, I think in the end I just thought, get on with stuff and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Because I think in the end, I just decided I don't, as long as I like what I've made, and even if I don't, some of it I don't like.
At least you made something.
Well, at least it's done. It's better than doing nothing. So I think in the and it's not, and the end goal isn't to go. People go, oh, why isn't RHLSTP on TV? You
Yeah.
go, well, when I started out, maybe I thought, oh, yeah, maybe. But like, it would be a backward step to put this on TV.
Yeah, people would say, oh, can we cut the bit about strawberry cum? And you'd say,
Yeah.
but that's the heart of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the beating heart of the show.
But you wouldn't get any of the stuff. But also, other people would get involved in it.
They'd fuck it up, yeah.
Other people would fuck it up. Other people would take the money would go elsewhere. You know,
Yep.
we make money on this, and then we can put that money into making other stuff.
Yeah.
If we did it through TV, that money would just go to someone sitting on TV.
It's all about cutting out the middleman now.
Yeah.
That's the future.
So, it's more important to do the stuff than, and in fact, it's not, when I was young, I wanted to be like famous and the most successful comedian of your generation, blah, blah. And then, then I quickly worked with Steve Coogan and Chris Morris. Thought, probably it's not going to be me then. And
As an intimidating.
and then but then you realise it's still much better not to have all that stuff anyway. In a lot of ways, creatively speaking, anyway.
You're certainly harassed less.
Yeah.
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 That's what we can say.
Yeah.
As we stride through Leicester Square completely anonymously.
It's true.
Another fine day of not being harassed.
I think being
With praise for the quality of my work.
I think being able to do what you want to do, and
Yeah.
is more important. Though, if TV's watching, I will do it. If the money's right.
Yeah.
They're not watching. I'll do the puppet show on TV if you want.
Yeah.
Last chance.
You could be like the British, who's the American guy with the annoying Jeff Dunham?
Yeah.
You could be the British Jeff Dunham.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's.
I can't imagine a more insulting thing to say to you than you're the British Jeff Dunham.
You never know what the future's going to bring. That's the
Yeah.
thing. So, like, you could do something, and it suddenly takes off, and then you're not in control of your destiny anymore.
That's true.
What you have to do is do things that never quite take off.
Yeah.
So you're always, if you can't fly a plane, as long as it's on the ground, you're okay.
Yeah. It's like a weird car.
Yeah.
Still drive at places.
A weird, safe car.
Yeah. Just taxi to work in a plane.
Right. We're gonna wrap it up in a second. Look, Pierre, if you could go into a chrysalis and dissolve and come out as anything you want to come out as, what would you come out of the chrysalis as?
It can be anything.
Yeah. It's a way of looking into your mind.
Is this from the John Norris episode where you didn't believe him about...
Yeah, it is.
About, what was it, butterflies have the same memories?
He said that caterpillars dissolve completely.
Yeah.
And then when they come out, they can remember, the butterflies remember stuff.
Even though they turned into goo, yeah.
Even though there's no fucking way of testing a butterfly's memory.
I think that is.
There's no way of testing a butterfly's memory.
They went straight to an earlier food source.
Yeah, fuck it. It doesn't mean anything.
And they could name all the 1966 World Cup squad as they did it. But the voice is so quiet, it's hard to...
It is from that, but then it's an interesting question.
Yeah. Emerge as anything.
We'll learn a lot about you from this.
What's the best thing to be that isn't a human? Probably a sort of Labrador owned by quite a wealthy family. They have a good time.
I think they do.
Would that be the best? Or can I be different people?
You can be different people. You can be yourself.
I'll just come out as Liz Truss. Just be like a second Truss. Imagine the chaos you could cause. You could really wreck her fucking life, couldn't you? Get the nuclear codes.
Yeah.
Frighten a few other countries. Wander around Downing Street just in your pants, just screaming. By the time they realised it was Truss 2, the damage would be done.
Do you think that might already have happened with Liz Truss? And
By the time this comes out?
I think there might be a second one already doing all the pork markets and that sort of stuff.
Sort of saying weird things about cheese. Do you think that the reason that speech was so weird is because it was a sort of imperfect clone from a chrysalis? That the real Liz Truss was watching on TV going, more time in the chrysalis needed for the next shambling clone. Yeah, I think that's a viable conspiracy theory.
I don't think Liz Truss is going to be Prime Minister when this podcast comes out. That's my
It'll be Truss too.
All the time everyone said Boris Johnson's going, I said he'll still be Prime Minister when this goes out.
Yeah.
Even though this is going out in about 3 weeks from now, I think Liz Truss won't be the Prime Minister in 3 weeks' time. And if I'm wrong, I'll give everybody in this audience chlamydia. I was going to offer them something that I thought they might take me up on it.
Yeah.
Look, it's been lovely to talk to you. What is there anything else coming up soon on your horizons?
Whenever I do the tour of the show, why can't I just enjoy things? That's going to be going around the place.
Yeah.
And hopefully a London run at some point as well next year. It'll probably be like early next year. What else? Bud Pod with me and Phil Wang.
Yeah.
Have a listen, see if you like it. Don't listen to episode 51 first. Does anyone remember what the nadir was? 51 or 53? Don't listen to that one first. Save that one for when you're feeling strong. The early 90s was a strong brace of episodes, I seem to remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say listen to those.
Did it find its feet quickly, or was it...
it was fairly shambling.
Yeah.
I don't know. They all have something to recommend them.
Yeah.
The episodes, I'd like to think. What else? What else do I do? I'm blanking.
I don't know.
The specials on YouTube, quiet ones, the one for free. You could just watch it all for free on YouTube.
You should definitely do that. It's one of those comedians that you get. It's what I really love in an Edinburgh show, when you just get wrapped up in an idea and then you kind of uncontrollably laughing at the thing, and it's my favourite kind of
thank you.
comedy. So it's a great show.
I should say you can buy the audio of the special as an album from 800 Pound Gorilla Records.
Okay.
So if you want to listen to it, do that.
Yeah.
Instead of whatever the alternative is.
Just put the YouTube one on and don't look at the video.
Try not to touch your phone in your pocket as you walk around. We've all tried it. And the long, unskippable adverts always fuck it up for ball shavers or whatever it is. Whatever dystopian grocery delivery service has been started that week.
Probably sponsoring this week's episode, so I will not...
Probably sponsoring Bud Pod. And thank you very much.
Thank you for your sponsorship.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the amazing Pierre Novellie. Go and see his stuff. He's brilliant. Thank you very much. We'll be back next week with Sally Phillips and not Reece Shearsmith, who you've heard already last 2 weeks ago. What? You have been listening to RHLSTP with me, Richard Herring, and my guest, Pierre Novellie. Thank you to Scant Regard. They're here again playing the music. It's nice of them to come in. I'm indebted to my producer, Ben Walker, and thank you also to Chris Evans. Not that one, or that one. Come on, or not the Daily Telegraph editor. Don't be stupid. Thank you very much to everyone at the Leicester Square Theatre. Thank you to Chris Evans' many children, and the ones I know of and the ones that no one knows of. This is a Sky Potato Fuzz and GoFasterStripe.com production.